Welcome to the AL.com film room. I'm Justin King here with Cole Cubelic. Cole, another tough loss for Auburn. How can they build? Can the Tigers get bowl eligible?
I think they can, Justin. We saw a few more different things that Auburn implemented, a couple different styles of plays, but really just trying to go with what's worked in the past few games. And they've been competitive. You give them credit for that. They get Ole Miss at home. It's an early kickoff. Crowd was into it. Just not able to get a win against a team that's ranked number 18 in the college football playoff rankings.
Cole, there are some difference makers for the Tigers who are really helping them on their path trying to get bowl eligible, one of whom is Shaun White. Can you show me a play where he's having some success?
Absolutely. Justin, I think Shaun White is really getting a better grasp of the offense. They're opening some things up, allowing him different options to be successful based on what the defense is doing, and adding some different wrinkles, a little muddle huddle, something we've seen from Gus Malzahn a few times. Saw it first really in the 2013 BCS championship game against Florida State. So you sort of trap the defense by not letting them see your personnel grouping and who's going to go line up where. So they'll break the huddle quickly, offensive lines at the line of scrimmage. You see kind of three backs in the backfield and a little play action, but you keep an extra back in for protection. And what that does, as White goes down and finds Ricardo Lewis, it just gives him extra time in the pocket. And we'll see a couple other angles here. That little muddle huddle is going to allow them to get to the line of scrimmage quickly. Ole Miss is going to substitute. Difficult from that perspective to see who's going to go line up where. You have a receiver in the backfield, and then, of course, two backs. Chandler Cox stays in on protection. It's a nice job up front with the protection, and it's a longer developing route. So that long play action allows Shaun White the time that he needs to come out of that fake and deliver a strike down the field. You see that offensive line, pretty good protection up front, nice throwing lane, good route from Ricardo Lewis, and just great execution overall.
All right, taking a look at another play now. And Cole, one of the things we've heard you do multiple times is compliment the offensive line for their run blocking. And in the game here, they really opened up some good holes for Javon Robinson. Can you show?
Finally saw Javon Robinson sort of break loose, bust loose, and get some opportunities. And you can see just sort of a single back. Chandler Cox is going to be at H-back here, and he'll pull across and able to get up to a linebacker second level. And what Auburn does here is a nice job of just that, getting to the second level. You see one defender's not even going to be blocked, but you can read off of a certain guy and force defenders to take themselves out of plays. That's going to allow guys like Javon Robinson to get into space and create. Double team here at the point of attack. Defender's going to take himself out of the play. Braden Smith will finish it off. And you see Austin Golson, the center, come up on a linebacker. He gets the finish there. And Chandler Cox way upfield. Avery Young, a nice job getting to the second level. And Javon Robinson can just make guys miss. Now, he's a yards after contact back, and you see an example of it there. This will give us another good look here from the back end. Avery Young up to the second level on the linebacker. Chandler Cox is pulling around. He'll be up on the linebacker. Defensive end speaks, takes himself out of the play. Here's the double team in the middle where Austin Golson will come up and finish off. Two cutoffs on the backside, so you're good there. Just a nicely blocked play, and Braden Smith makes the best out of a situation. You see him finish his defender. And what you do there is you go tempo and you go hurry up. But what I want you to watch here, Justin, is the double teams at the point of attack on the two defensive tackles. Watch the movement at the line of scrimmage that this Auburn offensive line is going to get. Not a whole lot of work has to be done from Javon Robinson here. Two really nice double teams. He doesn't just get into the second level. That takes him up to the third level. And on the second look, what you'll see is it's not always critical in a double team at the point of attack that you come off and take care of the linebacker early. Watch this double team here just push the defender back into the linebacker. And you almost get the same thing on this double team over between Golson and Braden Smith. But Kozan and Coleman, an excellent job here. And watch how the linebackers are almost just taken out of play by movement. See 21 just get lost there in traffic. Offensive lineman doesn't even have to come off on him. You get good movement at the point of attack on the initial defensive lineman, and you're going to be able to get your running back into the second or third level. And just third play to follow that up, you see an opportunity for Javon Robinson to make a little inside move. And I think he proved that he can be a go-to back for this Auburn offense. Finally seems to be healthy. Somebody in the open field can make things happen, and the Auburn offensive line helps with that a lot.
Does Javon Robinson, does he bring anything different to the table maybe than some of the other backs Auburn has?
He might have a better combination of size and speed. I think he probably has the best combination of size and speed. Peyton Barber is going to be your power back. I think Kerryon Johnson might be your best guy to the sideline as far as just a speed back. Rock Thomas may be your best slasher, someone who can get outside and then cut north and south. But as far as the best combination of all of those, Javon Robinson, I think, would fit that bill.
Cole, another player who made a positive impact for Auburn is Carl Lawson in his return. Can you show me a little bit of what he brings to the Auburn defense?
You'll see, Justin, Carl Lawson, a little bit of a speed rush here, edge rush, able to get inside, help affect the pocket. Not all on Carl Lawson, however. This is one that Will Muschamp dialed up, and really nice execution from a couple different individuals along this Auburn defensive line that kind of opens this up. Empty set for Ole Miss. Chad Kelly has no help. So you got 5 offensive linemen, 5 blockers. With these defenders up and around the box, can you win the numbers game? And if you're not going to bring 5 or 6 and win the numbers game, if you're going to bring less rushers than they have blockers, how can you force Ole Miss to waste an offensive lineman or waste a blocker, obviously open up space for another rusher? So we'll see Justin Garrett drop here. We'll see Carl Lawson rush around the edge. And then we're going to see from the different angle kind of how this game on the opposite end works. But it's an excellent job of Devontae Lambert sort of eating up the guard and then the tackle at the same time. And you'll see how Carl Lawson does that too. The behind picture here is a little bit better. And then Casanova McKenzie is just going to have a free rush lane right at Chad Kelly. Got to get the quarterback to the ground, but a nicely drawn up blitz by Will Muschamp and Auburn. And you see there, Carl Lawson and Casanova McKenzie this time able to get Chad Kelly to the ground for a sack. Montravius Adams comes across the face of the center. So you're pulling the center to the left side of the offensive line. Now, this is really what makes this play go, in my opinion. Devontae Lambert is just going to sort of eat up the left guard, but then rush outside around Tunsil. So he's eating up both of those offensive linemen. And then Carl Lawson's always going to get a little extra attention. It appears as though, and so you didn't see this from the side angle, it appears as though this is just kind of a 4-man rush, and you block it man, and you'll be good to go. Doesn't happen that way. Justin Garrett drops off in coverage. Lawson's going to sort of eat up two offensive linemen, Jordan Sims, Homewood native. Instead of setting flat, you want to try to get some depth here with your set, and you might have a chance to redirect back inside and pick up Casanova McKenzie. It doesn't happen. You see the C parts. McKenzie's able to come right in, get the sack. Lawson helps around the edge with a little extra pressure. Nicely dialed up pressure and blitz from Will Muschamp. Now, one thing with Carl Lawson that we saw, he can win one-on-ones. And he can make plays on his own because he's an elite pass rusher. This just shows you the strength that Carl Lawson has as he'll come around Laramie Tunsil. But watch him use his hands to disengage Laramie Tunsil's hands from his body. This is just nice work right there. Hands on hands. Laramie Tunsil falls out on his toes, loses his balance, unable to get his hands on Carl Lawson. Now, you still get a completion there, but what that does is later in the game, Laramie Tunsil's going to be coming over, hey, I need help on 55. Or he's telling his quarterback, when I got 55, be ready to step up in the pocket, be ready to get out of the pocket because this kid's giving me some problems. Now, in the run game, this is earlier in the first quarter, Carl Lawson lined up on Laramie Tunsil again. This was a nice battle to watch. Carl Lawson didn't win a lot, but when he did, he looked good doing it. Now, Laramie Tunsil's job here is to slip through the defensive end, leave Carl Lawson unblocked, and go up to the second level. Watch Lawson just sort of take on Tunsil, force him back inside, and that's not going to allow Evan Ingram to get a clean pull on Carl Lawson, which, let's be honest, Evan Ingram, an undersized tight end on Carl Lawson, that's a mismatch anyway. We'll see how it plays out. Here's Lawson forcing Tunsil inside. That creates traffic, that creates trash, that creates a lack of space, and you'll get a good look at it from this angle, which you shot. Nice job. There's Tunsil forcing him inside. It's Carl Lawson, and then takes on Evan Ingram as well, and he's going to get an assist on the tackle. Shows you the kind of impact that one guy can have on this Auburn defense.
Cole, Auburn's in a tough spot right now. 4-4 after starting number 6 in the country. We've talked about that a million times. Every article has talked about the disappointment, but what we haven't heard a lot about is maybe what a little bit of the players are feeling. They're still fighting. They still seem to really be trying hard. What do you see in that?
I don't think there's any real outliers that tell me this Auburn team has shut it down or is beginning to quit. They're competitive against Arkansas. You go 4 overtimes. You come back against Ole Miss, 4-quarter game at home against a team that's got some huge wins and is going to basically in the driver's seat in the SEC West right now in Ole Miss. Well, you want to get to a bowl game. You want to get to postseason, and you're definitely taking it week to week. But you look now at what lies ahead. It's not what it was at the beginning of the season. I think this Texas A&M team has some issues. Now they've switched quarterbacks. They said they had committed to being more physical and being able to run the football, still not able to do that. Now, their defense has some great players, but they're not playing great team defense. They actually give up more yards on the ground per game than Auburn does, which is pretty bad. But Auburn should have a chance to run the football against A&M. And I think the more comfortable Shaun White gets and the more comfortable this coaching staff gets in understanding how to substitute, how to run tempo, what plays to call that have the best chance to be successful, Auburn will continue to improve now that Carl Lawson's back on defense for the rest of this season.